nice look there. Broadway newcomer Jasmine Amy Rogers, remember that name, gets standing ovations every performance for the song Something to Shout About. Rogers is starring as Betty Boop in Boop the Musical. She has been called Broadway's newest star, thank you very much. In the musical, Betty Boop leaves her black and white world for colorful New York City, where she navigates fame, friendship, and love. Jasmine Amy Rogers joins us first on CBS Mornings. Good morning to you, and bravo, bravo, bravo to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, before we get into the interview, this is what a critic said about you, Ms. Rogers. It's not every day you get to see a new Broadway star be born, but I witnessed it in the first preview of Boop, a splashy new musical about the iconic cartoon character, Betty Boop. 26-year-old Jasmine Amy Rogers, that's you, a triple threat, singer, dancer, actor, made her Broadway debut as Betty to standing ovations. Whoa!
Talk about it.
Now, the reason why I love this so much, Jasmine, is because your backstory is you said you bombed in the audition and you didn't think this was a role you could play.
I did.
So take us back why you thought you bombed.
You know, I just was so out of body, and I was saying I'd never felt like I ever had wanted to walk out of an audition before, but that morning that I was in there, I was ready to just leave, and I just had to keep going, but it honestly was a terrible feeling. I could just feel it in my gut that it...
Did they think you bombed too, the producers?
They knew. I talked to Jerry, our Mitchell, our director, about it, and he was like, yeah, you just kind of fell flat in that
Because what did they
audition.
tell you? They told you we're going to go in another...
They said they're going to go in another direction.
Well, what happened between the time that you say you bombed or you bombed and went back for another audition?
Yeah, so I left, and when I came back a few months later, it turned out they were still looking, and so I begged my agents to get back in the room, and luckily I know Jerry. And he said that he'd kept me in the back of his mind the whole time because they weren't finding what they were looking for, which is, I guess, a whole big point of the show is she's looking for something. She doesn't know what it is. Which is funny, I never thought of that. But, you know, I begged to go back in, and in that time, I just took the time to collect myself in my dancing and my confidence. And
you didn't have the confidence back
then?
No.
I didn't. I was so nervous that somehow I wasn't what they were looking for. And what it came down to was Jerry and our associate director, D.B. Bonds, they came to me and they said, you need to go in there, you need to own it, you need to own yourself, and trust that what you're delivering is good and worthy of time and attention. And
I do too, Nick.
yeah, I just went in there and attacked it, and then I got it.
And you owned it.
Yes.
Yes. Now they're calling you Broadway's newest star.
I know.
So how are you processing all of this? I'm so excited for you because we saw you on the stage and you were so good in it too, Jasmine.
Great.
How are you processing all of this?
You know, I kind of have to step back from it a touch just so I don't lose my mind, because it is so exciting and so like, it feels so magical. And like our opening night, I just was the happiest I've ever been, I think, in my whole life. And I was saying it was the most peaceful day. Everyone was just kind of like leading me around to where I needed to be, and I was just kind of like, okay. But it feels magical. I don't think there's another word to describe it. One of a kind.
Well, you've got such an ease when you sing, but such power at the very same time, and I think it's that combination that makes it so memorable. But you say of all the difficulties of being a Broadway performer, 8 shows a week, maybe the hardest thing for you was the signature phrase of Betty Boop.
Oh, yeah.
Was it boop boop ba-doo?
Boop boop ba-doo, yeah.
Why is that hard?
Say it again.
Boop boop ba-doo.
Yeah.
It's so iconic. And you know, you want to do it justice. You want to bring yourself to it, but still make sure that it's something that these people who have loved her for so long remember and love. So
I always thought she was so ditzy with that boop boopy.
Yeah.
But she's not.
She's not.
She was a feminist. She was ahead of her time, actually.
She was, and I think it's easy because it has been so long. You know, she's not on our TV screens anymore.
Yeah.
But so it's easy to forget that she did everything. She was a veterinarian, she was a doctor, she was a president, she was the mayor, she was a judge, she did all of these things, a pilot. So she had to be capable of so many things, and that's her catchphrase, you are capable of amazing things.
And there are so many parallels between Betty Boop and you because she's searching for herself and even going out and trying to find out who she is outside of the perception of how people see her.
Yes.
So the question I have for you, who are you?
Jasmine, I am just, right now, and because of this show, I'm just a woman who loves being alive. And I love my people so dearly. And I am just a girl who loves to sing and dance, is really at my core. And that's what I'm kind of learning about myself. And that I'm a lot braver than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that I'm capable of more than I thought I was.
Yes,
and
you are.
that I'm worthy.
That's
and
right.
Yes, that I.
Jasmine, all the things.
All the things. Check all the boxes.
All the
Gayle.
things. And shout out to your makeup people, Mikey.
Yeah.
Because when you walked in, and I said, you've got normal eyes.
You did.
Jasmine,
On the screen, they're huge.
You are the best. Thank you so
The
much.
best.
We appreciate you.
Cheering
Boop
you on.
the musical is currently playing
Cheering
at the
you on.
Broadhurst Theater. Make sure you go check it out. Run, don't walk,
don't
as
walk.
Gayle likes to say.